impossible dream to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause.
Welcome to Flyby Films, once or twice a month, using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some stupid shit like that. We get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier, and sitting next to me in this tiny box is my friend and my hapless co-host, Jamison Barsotti. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the 1972 film. I had to think about it for a second. The 1972 film Horror Express, not to be confused with Horror Express, which is often very confusing. People often comment on my penchant for watching horror movies, and I'm like, no, horror. Big difference. Although not always, because nudity. This movie has an all-star cast of horror greats. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and I actually don't know if Telly Savalas has been in any other horror films, but I mean, it's Telly Savalas, so he's everyone's Greek dad, right?
He's my Greek dad.
He is your Greek dad. Definitely. You are definitely related to him. Telly Savalas, who turns in the greatest performance of the movie, in my absolute, genuine opinion.
Yes.
So
it's a performance that is for a different movie.
I didn't even know Cossacks existed outside of the American Revolution. I just remember hearing about the forts that had Cossacks during, like, up in Canada and like the Hudson Bay area during the American Revolution. I didn't know that was a thing that like existed beyond like the 1800s.
You know, it could just have existed in this movie after that.
That's true.
It might not be real. It could just be Telly Savalas figuring out how to get in this movie.
But I also don't know a whole lot about the Siberian desert.
Sure.
Except for tigers.
Yeah.
That's all I know. Tigers.
There's Siberian tigers. That's the thing.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
So Cossacks could just be like freaking owning the place, and I wouldn't know.
They're just sleeping in the train
pretty
station.
Pretty sure Cossacks are of German descent, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know my Cossack history. Blake, you're pushing me into a direction where I'm going to say something that I regret.
Oh, no. No. They are a predominantly East Slavic Eastern Christian people, originating in the Pontic Caspian steppe of eastern Ukraine and southern Russia. You know, my wife used to work with a Ukrainian, and he would always get mad at people when they said the Ukraine. He's like, no, it's not the Ukraine, it's Ukraine. That's what you get for starting wars with Russia.
Did you do this whenever he would say that? Ukraine your neck?
Oh, the dad joke is strong with you tonight. How are
Blake,
you, Jameson?
I'm fine. You know, if you want to talk about Cossacks, just go for it. I'm tired enough where you can continue to ignore anything that I'm saying and just keep going for it. I'm interested. I'm fascinated. Go for it.
Sure. Okay. So first interesting fact about Cossacks is that they were not in the American Revolution. That is a mistake I made earlier in this podcast.
The first interesting thing about Cossacks was that you fucked up.
Yeah. I was thinking of the Hessians, who are German.
That's a very German word.
Yeah. So, that's an interesting thing. Blake can be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a very
so
interesting thing about the Cossacks.
You know what's fun about the Hessians, though?
Yes, please. Blake, tell me what's fun about the Hessians.
I don't actually know a whole lot about them. I just remember that they were often up in the colder climes of forts during the American Revolution. But it's been over 10 years since I've taken an American Revolution class, so don't depend on any of my knowledge and my Alzheimer's riddled brain. Way to take it down, huh?
Was gonna say I read two things about Alzheimer's in the past couple weeks. One of them, but I can't remember any of them actually. No. One of them was
my dad would be proud.
Good. If only he could remember to be proud.
If only he knew who we were.
Sorry, Blake. But wow.
You've been around me long enough. You don't even have to apologize anymore.
Yeah,
you've leveled up high enough in our friendship that you can make whatever incendiary comments you wanted towards my dad, and I'd be like, yeah, that's about right.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I feel very blessed.
And highly favored.
Yeah. Blessed and highly favored. No, the first thing was that they think that plaque on your teeth is a big contributor, like gingivitis. That's what it is. Gingivitis is a big contributor, not plaque.
Is that like diabetes?
Gingivitis? Yeah. Yeah, it's the cousin of diabetes. No, so they have found a striking connection, and it's apparently a really big deal, so brush your teeth. The second thing that I read was that all of the research that has happened in Alzheimer's research is suspect, and we don't actually know anything. So don't brush your teeth. Fuck off, toothbrushing. It's not going to matter.
You automatically triggered me with the notation of the word plaque, because for the last 20 years of Alzheimer's research, quote unquote, the ongoing, highly favored reason for Alzheimer's was plaque elements on the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And we have concluded that no one actually knows jack shit about any of it. And the best research has been fudged. So that's the best part. That's the stuff that makes me real happy, is to hear that scientists are just like faking research. That's good stuff. I like it. Makes me real confident in hashtag science.
Did you send me that article that talked about that? Yeah,
probably.
So you sent me that one, and it was right after I had read this other thing about gingivitis, and because gingivitis has to do with like plaque on the teeth, or it doesn't have anything to do with plaque. It has things to do with teeth, which you associate with plaque. I was definitely getting my wires crossed with like the word plaque.
Yeah.
But no, that was a fascinating article, and I agree with most of it. Oh, you didn't send it to me. I read it because Luke did something on Substack.
That's
right. That's probably, you probably saw it from that. Yeah. I think it was Jesse Single or Signal.
I think Jesse Single linked to the guy who does the podcast about like actually going into the research behind science and actually like looking at what the actual research says.
Yeah.
and what conclusions we can actually make from it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think there was an overall like, especially like we're kind of in a moment in history where science has definitely lost its like charm, and I think a lot of that is because people don't want to do the work and just want to continue on making changes whatever they want to make changes, a la our president, and they don't want to stop and do the actual work, and so they just ignore science. But on the other hand, science has done a fucking terrible job of convincing people why they should believe it, because it is so wrong a lot of the time. And again, it's kind of the same, ethos where like they just want to keep pushing forward. They don't want to stop. It's this idea that value. I was talking with my friend an hour ago. Your value is only tied to growth, and so what we end up growing is just a bunch of cancer. And we grow this cancerous stuff all over the place because we can't live with the fact that we might not grow, because we have to grow correctly. We might not grow a lot. And so, it just, we continue.
I think there's that, but I also think just in general, and don't get me wrong, like I've been on the questioning, not necessarily science, like writ large as far as the study of science, but like science-ism, like creating this worldview in which science explains all things. I've always been against that from like 10 years ago on. So,
Blake, does your house believe in science?
Oh yeah.
Is love real? Or whatever.
Well, I sure can't do research on it. That's for sure. No, I actually think the bigger issue is not, science. We don't have a trust. Like we don't have trust anymore. We don't trust in anything really. Trust in institutions is shot. Trust in science is starting to get decayed. Especially if they keep pulling this kind of shit. And then trust in, this whole polarization element, but also just fact that none of us really know any of the people we live near. We don't talk to people that don't agree with us. Like we are completely siloed. So why would we trust anything? Like we are living 10 Cloverfield Lane, basically. We're all looking out the tiny little window, seeing nothing, and thinking the people inside with us are bullshitting. And then we get outside and we're like, fuck, there actually are aliens. Sorry for the spoiler.
You know what? I was thinking a lot. So we're reading this book. What is it called? The Talisman.
The Dragon Bone Chair.
The Dragon Bone Chair by Tad Williamson.
Williams. I really hope his middle name is Pole.
Yeah. That would be...
that'd be a rocking name. Tadpole Williams.
That'd be
good. It's like a blues singer.
Yeah. So one of the things that keeps coming up in this book is how the people like furthest away from the political centers believe like in ghosts and goblins and things like that, which is actually really funny. It's funny because like it's a fantasy, so like obviously dragons exist, but like the people in the city keep giving everybody shit for believing in like, oh, you believe in magic? What?
Yeah.
You idiot. But you know, it's almost fascinating because it's like kind of positing this law of magic, which is like, you know, the closer you live to like the political center, the less magical you think, and the further away you are, the more like you are willing to kind of accept that you are kind of out of control of your life and you don't understand everything about the world. Ding.
I think it's an issue of control, definitely. The closer you are to the political centers, the more you feel that you have control over yourself and others. And the farther away from it, you realize, oh, no, this whole thing is a shit show, and I'm just riding along.
No. The book, you know what I realized as I'm reading it? I'm definitely liking, and I should be sharing all these thoughts in the group text, but like, I don't know, texting on my phone just is so much effort. So fair. Ian, I hope you're listening.
You should.
We're talking about.
I'm pretty sure
we're
there's
talking
a voice.
About your book again.
I'm pretty sure there's a voice recording thing on there.
Oh,
you could talk into it.
I should look into voice to text.
We've been known to do that before.
Yeah, but I am liking it more and more now that we are on the journeying part of it. I find that like with me in fantasy, when it's like world building out of these like political centers, I'm like, come on, please move on. Like Dune didn't take for me. Star Wars, like the times we're spending with Amidala or like on the ships talking about shoot me now. But like
get me out in the world.
Hobbit, again, The Hobbit, like the unexpected journeys, I'm all about that shit. Like bring me more. And so we're in that part of the book and I'm enjoying it a lot more. So
and we got to meet a badass troll. So
yeah.
Good old Bennebic.
I do like how it was really funny. They spent like 2 pages explaining why it's cooler to ride on a wolf instead of a goat. That was one of my favorite parts with Bennebic. I was like, okay, yeah. You could also just say like, I ride a wolf, deal with it. Yeah. But I guess for a troll, like stability is maybe more important usually, and so the goats.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Wolves are kind of wily sometimes.
Yeah. Blake, what is the highlight of the last 2 weeks of your life?
Highlight of the last 2 weeks. Well, I would say it's slim pickings. I've been I had my mother, and I love my mother, but I love her in small doses, um and so she was here for a long weekend, and I thought she might have had to have been here for a whole week, because the weather turned bad, and I didn't want her to drive back in bad weather. But she decided, and she's the one who came up with this idea. I did not slip her any ideas or any, suggest anything. But she said, you know what? I'm going to leave Monday night before the storm comes on Tuesday. I was like, that's a great idea. Probably smart, all this stuff. So she had a great day with our youngest. Had an exceptional final day. Got in the car, drove off, got home about 10:30 at night, and then the snow hit. And my wife and I worked at home with 2 kids for 2 days. Well, actually, no. Take that back. 1 kid for 2 days. The other kid, her mom took with her for the whole week, which sucks because we didn't get to see him for nearly a whole week. But was also super helpful because, good Lord, trying to work a day of work with a kid, let alone 2, is damn nigh impossible. So
yeah.
So I mean, there've been fun moments, but I would say it's slim pickings. How about you, Jameson? What's been the highlight of the last 2 weeks for you?
So I told you needed to ask me about this.
Yes, skateboarding. Yeah.
Yes, I need to tell you about skateboarding. The highlight.
Real quick. Is this a story about you skateboarding?
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is
just getting myself prepared. I had a follow-up question in case that was the case. But now I don't need to ask that question.
This is a story about skateboarding and not anyone skateboarding. So,
okay.
I have a friend. His name is Gabriel Martins, and he is a professor at Sacramento State University.
Does he play chess?
Of California. Yes, he's on the chess Discord.
I was literally just guessing. I had no idea if he was or not.
He's Gabe. He's I think his nickname is not a bore, but I think it comes up as Gabe too.
Gotcha.
So he is a professor at Sacramento State University.
By the way, way to dox that username. Good job.
Oh, well, I think it says Gabe, so.
Yeah.
But
I was just saying, for anyone out there who wanted to just randomly try to tag him in something. Good job.
You can, go to the math department at Sac State, and you could find him there. I'm sure there's a profile of him there.
Okay.
But
skateboarding.
A couple years back, he wrote this paper. So he was, I don't know if he skateboarded, but he was definitely kind of like, a punk-ish type person. He's
Did
from
not
Brazil.
See that coming.
Yeah, he's from Brazil, and I went to grad school with him, and he had this idea.
At William and Mary?
No, I went to grad school at UCSC.
Oh, that was postdoc. Sorry.
Yeah, gotcha. Postdoc was William and Mary. But yeah, we graduated the same year. He was there the whole time I was there. So, anyway, he wrote this paper on, it's called Skateboard Tricks and Topological Flips. And
That's a great
it
title.
is on topological classification of skateboard tricks. And he has this theorem that says, and there's going to be a follow-up question on what the hell is this. Up to homotopy, there are 4 skateboard tricks, and they can all be deformed into these 4, possible things. And it's pretty cool. And he gave this talk. So he came to Chico State, and he gave a talk on this paper at their math colloquium, and I attended, and it was a lot of fun. But it's pretty neat because he basically like splits it up into like these 4 trick classes. You could have like ollies, you can have a kickflip, you can have a what's the one where it like twirls? I don't know. Do you know your skateboard tricks?
No. I was gonna say oxen free.
No, the push shove it. So kickflip,
Got me.
the push shove it, I guess, is one of them, and then there's the varial kickflip. And the neat thing about the varial kickflip is like he's able to like show like matrix version of the other 2 tricks. And then the push shove it, if you watch a video of it, and he showed a video, he's like, not the push shove it, the varial kickflip. The varial kickflip is kind of like a mixture of these 2. So you're like doing like a push shove it and a kickflip at the same time. And basically it's like you have an axis that the skateboard is rotating around, and it kind of rotates around both of these at the same time. And he's able to show like that you could kind of like break these up into matrices and then multiply these matrices together and get something that looks like the varial kickflip, but actually doesn't physically exist. Like, there's no way to make that motion in real life. So the actual varial kickflip that we know exists because skateboarders can do it has to be like explained in a much more complicated manner. So it's like an open question that he was able to posit, which is like, okay, we have this matrix that shows this type of motion. We have this matrix that shows this type of motion with skateboards. And we have this type of motion that looks like you're combining them, but it's not like a simple multiplication combination. It's just, I don't know, something really weird is going on with that. Something more complex. Yeah. So anyway, it is fascinating. So, it's really interesting because a lot of times when you see like applied mathematics, it's like statistics or differential equations. And those are like the 2 flavors.
Like boring shit like that?
Well, it's not boring if you're into it, but like it's very like classical.
Okay.
And this is using what's usually used to think of as a very kind of pure mathematics, which is like studying mathematics for the sake of mathematics. And it's usually not kind of the flavor of applied math, but it's like an applied math use case for topological theory and homotopy theory and things like that. And so it was fun and it was really interesting. He's had a tough time trying to get it published because the like pure math of it isn't really that like difficult. It's not that complex. So the journals are like, this isn't very complex. But what's kind of interesting is that he's tying it to these physical phenomenons and like explaining this stuff. So there's this like neat novel applied use case of it. So
okay,
it's
so
cool.
I do have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Is his favorite band Blink-182?
No. I'm trying to think who his favorite band is. I don't think I could answer this. He has
Minutemen?
really good.
Dead Kennedys?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, those are the only 3 bands I know that skateboarders listen to, so just...
He's actually not much of a skateboarder.
Oh.
He actually made this joke where he's like, I'm more of a Tony Hawk pro skateboarder.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
That really lifted the intellectual heft of our show.
Talking about skateboards?
No, talking about math. That's how you'll say it, right? Maths. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a snake.
Like the UK.
Like you got snicks in your mouth. You got snicks in your mouth.
Snacks in your mouth. Yeah, so seeing my friend Gabe was a highlight.
Beautiful. I love seeing friends. It's the best.
I have one more story if you'll have it.
Is it quick?
It's so quick.
We're already at 30 minutes. Okay, go for it.
I know, and I
love bullshit.
We have to wrap this up, and I know you want to talk about this movie, so yeah, I want to give you time. Another highlight, although this was poor Hazel, my son. I already told you this, but last week he experienced his hands falling asleep for the first time, and he was sleeping. He had been sick that day, and he was sleeping. He was sleeping kind of with his hands a little bit above his head like this, and he was like almost out all the way. And then all of a sudden, Kira and I hear blood-curdling screams coming from his room, just losing it.
You didn't tell me about the blood-curdling screams.
He was up, and he was showing us his hands, and he was shaking them, and he was like, ah! And, like, I'm just like, dude, you're okay, calm down. I thought he was, like, just, like, doing something, like, maybe making a spell or something, but, like...
Can you see them, Daddy? Can you see them? I cannot feel them.
And then Kira, you know, she was, like, realizing, he was, like, sleeping like this, and she's like, are your hands asleep? And, you know, he doesn't know what that means, but she was like, are they tingling? And she was like describing this, and he was like, yeah. And, you know, it was so sad, but at the same time, it was hilarious. So wild. Hilarious. It was wild to see someone so young and for the very first time being betrayed by their body, right?
Yep.
Like, why? You are my hands. You are what brings me things. And now you are destroying me. You are bringing me so much pain. And he just like...
And it's just a matter of years until he sees the benefits.
Yeah, no, I mean, bodies are cool too.
No. I'm talking about the stranger. You know the stranger?
No.
You sit on your arm for a long time till it falls asleep, and then you masturbate.
Oh.
And so all of that goodwill and intellectual heft just went down the drain with that one comment from Blake Collier.
Yeah, no, I think everybody is thinking like, yeah, dude, you're gonna enjoy your body too someday. So like, you know, it's not all gonna be tingling hands. there are other things that are going to tingle too. This is my son we're talking about. This is his sacred time that he gets to learn about. So I don't want to continue down this way. But yeah, that's the idea, is that it was just wild to witness, and also poor Hazel. So
yeah. No, I'm, it's until you told me that about that experience, I never even considered that was a thing. Like the thought that you, as a kid, are coming into this world and that happens, and you're like, what the fuck? And
yeah,
because I don't remember that as a kid, I don't have a strong memory of anything like that in my young days, and so just the simple thought of that being a thing that happens and that you get to see him experience, it blew my mind when you told me. I thought about it quite a bit the rest of the day. I was like, oh man, that would be weird.
Yeah, no, it was super cool for us, terrible for him, and just weird in general. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, just wanted to share that story. Continue on.
You know what else gave me tingles?
What else gave you tingles? Like
Horror Express.
Hardcore Horror Express.
Horror Express. Horror Express.
Horror.
Horror. Horror.
Is this an express that Frank Reynolds would
very much
go
so.
to?
Very much so.
Horror. Yes. Horror Express.
Yeah, so I found this, as one does, looking at random obscure movies from the 70s, because the 70s and 80s are I mean, it's just classic. I mean, you can find all sorts of shit in those decades. And I came across this movie and I was like, well, first off, I've never heard of this. And second off, this has Christopher Lee in it and has Peter Cushing, who are like the greats of Hammer horror. Mm-hmm. And then Telly Savalas, I was like, what? He does horror? And so I went through I was like, okay. So I read the description and I was like, this sounds like The Thing from 10 years later. Mind you.
You mean prior?
No. 10 years later. The Thing is 10 years later.
Yeah, okay.
1982. And I was like, okay, I have to see this now, because one description made it sound like a vampire, and I was less like excited about that, if that's the way it was. And I think that's the dumbest description of this.
Yeah, that is the wrong takeaway.
What are you talking about? You clearly don't know what a vampire is. And so I was like, okay, I got to pick this. Like, there's no way around it. And I could not have been more pleased. Not only with just how much I like this film, but also how many crossover thematic elements there are between it and The Thing, which is my favorite horror film. And so, yeah, I mean, first off, when I told you what it was, were you like, what the fuck, bro?
I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting I mean, I was down. I was expecting something super campy. Not that it isn't, but
oh yeah, it's campy as hell. But
I think I was expecting something. I don't know, something between Ed Wood and Star Wars, right? Like, just something that's very forgettable.
Yep.
Which, yeah, I forgot what this movie was about, between the time that I saw it, but I wouldn't describe it as forgettable. It's coming back to me. I mean, it is very novel in a lot of different ways, and there is a lot of talent in it. It
and it does not
it's
take
not.
much time setting up anything. It pretty much
Yeah,
just it's like from the first like 10 minutes, some shit's already going down. You're like, oh, okay, all right. They're not
yeah.
even on the train yet, and shit's going down.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild that like anyone who's in it was involved in it too. It feels like 5 different movies too.
Yeah,
Like I think if there's a weakness, it's that it's like trying to cram too much stuff
yeah.
um
Too many
into
concepts.
like a bottle movie where it all
Yeah,
takes place on a train,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty wild, and the one of the questions that's been in the back of my head though since watching it was, is there a world in which this movie was actually a film that Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and Telly Savalas appreciate or appreciated, because they're all dead now? Or was this largely the end of kind of like the heyday of their? I mean, Christopher Lee would come back later in Lord of the
hmm
Rings and whatnot, but this was kind of at the peak, like end of their like peak. And I was curious if they were going to be like, this is a paycheck and we're just doing it because we get paid, and I get to hang out with Peter and I get to hang out with
yeah.
Chris. And, yeah, because
I
I could see
think
it going
that
both ways. Like Christopher Lee was notably a an interesting dude, and like the films that he like appreciated doing were
mhm.
unexpected. He found some of the lesser known ones to be a lot more um, fun for him as an actor. So I could see it either way, honestly. So
I think about this too. I think about like, you know, if either of these actors were to, or you were to learn like, oh, they won a best actor award, or they were in some sort of, dramatic uh, schmaltzy movie,
yeah,
you'd be like, oh, that fits. But
yeah,
I think a lot of that is because of our perception of them as um, old and, you know, very put together, very proper actors.
yeah.
And but then especially with like Christopher Lee, when you think about the drivel that he was in
Oh yeah,
just throughout the years, and he just, in some ways he was like the
he was the
Nicolas
Christopher
Cage.
Walken of
Yeah.
like the early days. Like just take
Yeah.
whatever comes his way.
No, exactly. And he was having a blast with it,
Oh
is
yeah,
what it seems like. One of my favorite Christopher Lee roles is did I make you watch The Stupids yet?
no.
Okay.
But
So
I've got a primo choice coming up for the podcast, so this would be a perfect time for you to drop that one afterwards.
yeah. I don't think it counts as forgotten though, because it's so prolific and uh in my family. So
Well,
I can't.
but it's so well, I mean mine, the one I picked recently, is so prolific in the GIF world.
Is that true? I
It
don't.
is true.
Yeah.
It is true,
All I.
but it's so like disconnected from the actual film that no one actually, like very few people probably know where those gifts come from,
Yeah.
and so it's just like completely detached from like its actual context. So
Yeah. But what was I going to say? So my one of my favorite Christopher Lee roles is Sender. He is an evil mastermind who takes control of the mail in the movie The Stupids.
Mm-hmm.
He's also not real and not a real character. He is a completely made up story that one of the characters tells, which is just even better. And then, I think about that, and I think about, like, would Nicolas Cage choose, Leaving Las Vegas as his favorite movie, or would it be something like Mandy,
Yeah.
where, this
I
is
think
definitely
nowadays,
like
I think
a little
nowadays it'd
crazier,
probably be
right?
Mandy.
Yeah. And so, I wonder that with Christopher Lee, and you just have to remember this guy was like making metal albums up until the
Yep.
day he died and stuff. So he was definitely into
The
the
dark and
show,
the crazy
the dark.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, and he let's not forget that he had a part in Gremlins 2 as the mad scientist.
oh
Who
yeah.
was experimenting on animals up in the random floor of the
Yeah.
automated building.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Peter Cushing gets shit in this movie. Like, he has absolutely nothing to work with in this movie, and it kind of makes me sad because I love Peter Cushing, but Christopher Lee has the whole, for most of the movie, it's all Christopher Lee and the Russian lady.
Until
And that's it. Until Telly Savalas comes on as a Cossack who is in a random shack on the railroad where the train stops, and he and his group of militiamen get on the train and cause havoc. And it is pitch perfect. Like, that movie is working on all cylinders from that point on. I'm like, just keep that Telly Savalas on the screen. I am in.
Well, yeah. And like, what's the first thing we see him in? We see him
talking to an old man. He's like in a wooden manger.
Yeah, but he's like just done having sex with his girl, and he's just lying there in this manger talking to these other people. I don't know. He's just so weird in this movie, and it's great. And it's just like the kick the movie needs at that point too.
Yes. Would you like to?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like we probably ought to. We owe our audience a quick summary of what this movie is actually about. So Christopher Lee is an anthropologist who brings on this primate that he found in the ice in the Siberian winter, desolate winter realm.
Yeah.
Brings him onto the train. Little does he know that there is a entity inside of the primate who has been living from time eternal, for all we know, and is just waiting to infect somebody else. By how, Jameson? How does the entity infect other people? First off, how does he kill them?
Well, yeah,
by making them
dumb.
That's right. Smooth
he
brain.
He dumbs them to death.
It's
actually really,
you learn
really
new
funny.
Things? You learn new things by putting wrinkles in your brain. Well, this is the exact opposite. He just takes that brain and he's like smooth.
He smooths it,
and he takes all your memories and all your history into himself.
I think I got lost on.
Oh, don't try to figure out the actual.
I'm just telling you, some people he will steal the memories from in the host, and some hosts he jumps to.
Yeah.
So there's not a consistency between how he's doing this necessarily.
Yeah,
but
no.
there, it goes both ways. But either way, if he looks at you, you're doomed.
With his
You're
red glowing eyes.
You're
And it
doomed.
has to be in the dark.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It
Exactly.
has to be in the dark because you turn the light on and he's rendered powerless or something.
His rays
his eyes can't like
yeah.
It's like looking at a flashlight in a summer day.
Yeah.
It's useless.
It's incredible, honestly. Like,
oh, it's amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen a monster that dumbs people to death, and I never thought I would. So it's
also
great.
Turns them into like part apes. Like
kind of, yeah.
The character that is okay. So you got the primate, and then once it jumps to the next character,
they get all like hairy.
He's the entity for a good portion of the film, and he has to hide his hand because his hand is hairy like an ape.
Yeah,
he's like the police inspector, and it was the dumbest shit ever. But I love it. I love it so much.
Doesn't make any sense. One of my favorite gags, and I think this actually goes into the confusing worldview of this movie, which is a whole nother aspect that we probably need to talk about. But there is a Eastern Orthodox priest character, Father,
like in full Rasputin mode.
Yeah, Father Pujaro, or
something like that.
Something like that. He realizes what's going on, and he's like talking with the monster, and he's like, "Don't hurt me," or something like that. And the monster is like, "Keep in mind, this character is the representative of organized religion in this movie."
And
the
not only that,
monster,
but the most underrepresented representation of organized religion in film.
Yeah. So the monster tells him, "You have nothing I want." And I just busted up laughing at that moment. And so like, I don't know, man. This movie, the worldview or whatever it's saying is just wild. Like, you have this religious character who is very religious and gets kind of shat on, and then turns super evil at one point because
he's like, well, I'm getting shat on, so I might as well get all the power I can, so I can pay these people back.
So he turns completely evil, and then you have Christopher Lee, who's like this staunch atheist. So you have this very like classical version of, the atheist scientist, and you've got the stupid religious / evil religious, figure. And then you have
religious rube.
Yeah, then you have the people, stuck in the middle. And then you've got this monster. And the saddest thing about the monster too, and this is actually where the pathos is of the film, is what's another movie that you could trace back to this film that came out about 10 years after?
Like besides The Thing?
Besides The Thing.
Huh. I don't know.
This movie is also E.T.
Oh. He's just trying to get home, bro.
He's just trying to get home, bro. Exactly. He just wants to get home.
But if that's the case, why is he stealing the histories and memories of people?
He's trying to
get enough intellect in order to find a way to get to home, to phone home,
to get off the cradle,
to get off the fucking train in the Siberian wasteland.
Yeah. And what do? We
try to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Do we?
I don't know.
I mean, well, I feel like this movie did not have the ending that The Thing does, where you're like, oh, I don't actually know which one is the Thing, or if either of them is the Thing, or what is going on here. But yeah, there is it is an interesting film, and the part I like about it, the part that works for me, is that yes, it's a little bit cheesy in the way it does the things it does, and I'm sure I'd be curious to see if Who Goes There by William Campbell, I can't remember which, and the original Thing, The Thing from like the 50s, played into the making or the writing of this film, but there are so many touch points. I mean, you have an alien life form that's trying to get outside of a winter wasteland, which is, I mean, that's the book, or that's the novella, and I don't. It's been a long time since I've watched the 1950s one. I don't remember it being necessarily in the cold, but maybe it was. But anyways, all the other ones have been in the cold, and the novella is too. But it's like this poor like alien entity trying to like get out. And now Carpenter's The Thing is more like Insidious. It's like, no, I want to infect the whole world, or at least that's the sense you get from it. But still, it's trying to get out. It's trying to get out of the wasteland. So
get out of Siberia.
But I do want to know,
or the North Pole,
how awesome it is that it's a Eastern Orthodox priest. Like, how often does that shit happen? Not often.
It's pretty cool, and like you said, full Rasputin.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because how he ultimately turns is because he's in love with the Duchess that he is attending to, the Duchess and I guess it's the Duchy. Is that the man in that? Anyways, the Russian royalty that is on the train, he is their priest, and he is traveling with them, and the husband treats him like shit consistently, and he is in love with the wife. And so is Christopher Lee, for that matter, because she's quite good looking, honestly.
He is very, very good looking.
And yeah, it's just interesting that that's the thing that like turns him. He's like, well, fuck this. I can't defeat the evil, so I might as well join it.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially because he spends so much of the time warding against the evil, and then he turns. I think it's classic.
And I do classic. So I'm a big collector, like not actually, but like in my mind, I like to collect movies that and how they represent the use of the cross.
Yeah.
And the fact that he like holds the cross up to the box at the beginning of the movie and it just starts steaming. And I was like, yes. He is like, this is demonic. You do not want to be a part of this. Look away, all this stuff. And it's just like warning people away from it. And I just, I love iconography in horror films. It's so awesome. I am actually currently vamping right now because Jameson is currently probably kissing his son goodnight, if I had to guess. And so I have to act like I'm actually talking about something that makes sense, which I am not. All I know is you need to watch this film because it is a hidden classic. A hidden fucking classic.
Don't forget about it.
Do not forget about it. Matter of fact, I want you, after you listen to this, to go rent it or find it on YouTube or Internet Archive because
It's just on the Internet
there.
Archive.
Oh, is it just
stream
on there?
it on that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's probably some other places, but everyone who made it is dead, so you don't really owe anybody any money for it. So stream it on the Internet Archive.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, give your money to Internet Archive. They're doing good work over there.
Yeah. If you want to give money to Internet Archive. One thing to keep in mind is definitely click on the one that says like HD, because there are a lot of different versions of this movie that you can find on Internet Archive. And I watched the first half of it.
Created equally.
Yes, in kind of crappy standard definition, and then there was this really cool version that had these very green subtitles. Ooh. And it was great. Yeah.
I would imagine that would have been really useful for the Cossack part. I mean, you really couldn't make out what Telly Savalas was saying.
No, he was just saying it with a lot of vibe.
A lot of vibe. He was feeling it.
He was feeling it. Yeah, so Blake, how many things would you rate this movie?
I don't get your question. There's only one thing.
So, would you rate it a whole thing? Or half a thing?
I would rate it a whole... No, there is no half a thing. There is only the thing.
I've seen the thing split into multiple things.
Yes, but they are all sentient parts of the main mutant alien.
So is a small thing the same as a big thing?
Yes.
That's not what she said.
Hey, talk to your priest. All sins are the same in the eyes of the Lord. Man, that's a shitty way to end this episode.
I know. I did want to let you know. Oh, okay.
No. We'll go.
I was just going to tell you were right that I was going to give my son a kiss, and that's why. Yeah, that's why you had to vamp for a bit.
I mean, it's
Thanks
the
for
only
taking
way.
That one.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love vamping because I'm so eloquent as a speaker. Like,
that's why
the most eloquent, hugely eloquent.
Just so much. All right. Yeah. Watch this movie and bye.
Please God, watch this movie. And we've got another great one coming up. So we're gonna be.
Eventually,
I kid you fucking not. We will be dancing in the street.
That's a clue.
That's a clue.
If anyone figures this out, I'll record anything you want on your voicemail.
That is a horrible thing to say because you have a lot of friends who will misuse that.
No one is going to figure this movie out.
Okay.
That's the only clue. And you can't talk to Blake about it.
I've got $5 on the Mennonite.
$5 on the Mennonite.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.